Alright, welcome back. After a good long while of fighting, I got the swing arm on and I got the exhaust header on. This was a nightmare. I actually had to borrow a very particular socket, which would be a 5/16 quarter-inch drive 12-point socket, to be able to fit in through here and tighten the nut while it's installed in the frame. But I was able to borrow one from a friend and got that done. The swing arm was actually really tight in the bushings, but it does float pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with how smooth that is. And now I can move on with adding everything else onto it. So enjoy. Alright, so it got to be a little too much working around the giant mess I had in the garage. So as you can see, I've cleaned up a little bit. But, oh no, disaster strikes. I already put coolant in it. And when I tried to put oil in it, I put oil in this side through this plug to that sight glass down there. Came over here to add oil here. And I realized I forgot to plug this hole. And also, the drain hole on the other side of the frame is also missing the fitting. So I got to take those off the old frame, get them installed, and then it should quit bleeding out, and I should be able to fill it up with oil. Okay, so only one more piece of the puzzle to make this thing start. Right here I got these two bolts, and that's where the fuel pump goes. Once I get that installed and plugged in, I should be able to try this thing out sitting on the stand. I would have done this earlier, but I lost my 10 mil wrench, and I had to go buy a set of wrenches to get the one wrench I need. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the fuel pump off the old frame here and get it installed on this one. Got the fuel pump installed right here, got it plugged in. So now it's time to see if this thing has a chance of starting. I'm gonna go ahead and put the phone in the old phone holder here. Get you guys set up right there. Don't tighten it too tight, I'll break the screen. All right, let's see what happens. It made a noise, and I forgot to hook up the fuel lines entirely. So, I'm gonna take care of that. These fuel tanks are on quick disconnects, so the fuel lines are actually pretty easy to get on and off, provided they're all in the right spot. Come on. Get in there. They're definitely easier to take off. Alright, fuel lines are on. So, let's try it now. I think it should have made a noise, but let's see. Alright, got a really bad leak somewhere, and I don't know what it is. Oh, it's fuel. Oh no. What exploded? Oh my God. Where's that coming from? Wait a minute. It's coming from the quick disconnect. We'll pop that up real quick. I just replaced the O-rings on that. That shouldn't leak like that. Oh, that's bad. Alright. I'm gonna figure this out and then I'll be back. I found the problem. I disconnected it, and the old line is absolutely split open, and it's just bleeding all down this. So that's something I gotta figure out. I gotta see if I can find pinch clamps in whatever size this is, because for the 1/2-inch stuff, I've been using pretty much PEX. Buy those at Home Depot. But this line's bad. I'm assuming the spare line I have over here is not going to be much better, but I do have a spare line with a spare connector on it that I can probably cut up and put a new hose on. But on the upside, it runs, and so far it only leaks a lot of gas. Something else I noticed is my level went down right here, so I need to top that back off. But I think it's mostly because the water pump vent is pretty well clogged, and I'm afraid to take that hose off of there without breaking it. So in the future of this, there might be a water pump housing going in. Alright, this is the spare hose assembly I have that doesn't really look much better. But what I can do is, since this is already off the bike, I can go ahead and start replacing the lines on this once I get the actual crimp fittings, and then just change these little top hats out on the injectors and go ahead and use the regulator from the parts squad. Once I have that all ready, I can start threading it through here and trying to get it installed. You can tell by the amount of room I have, that should be fun. Somewhere in there are 2 injectors. So this is going to conclude this video. Unfortunately, I can't really go any further without having the right lines and having them in good shape. So happy Easter until next time.